The St. Louis school shooting in October gripped the city and the nation. The terrifying moments of a gunman in school have been felt in other communities over the years, leading to intense security measures. This hardening of schools is a subject of intense study conducted before the St. Louis school shooting.
There's something going on here in high surveillance schools where students aren't able to, meet their full potential.
Jason Jabbari is an assistant professor of research at the Brown School at Washington University in St. Louis, and he's the associate director of community partnerships at the Social Policy Institute at WashU. Jabbari is co-author of a study published in the Journal of Criminal Justice in September. It's about the ramped-up school security measures in response to school shootings.
After Columbine, we had what we call a hardening of schools. And so we had a number of schools that had new measures, security cameras, metal detectors, drug searches, drug sniffing dogs. And I think part of our, impetus for this was really thinking about, were these effective measures in terms of academics?
Jabbari says there is little evidence that shows more extreme measures of school security actually reduce violence. He says it does accomplish one thing: reducing achievement.
We compare schools that are on the high end of surveillance, the top third, so like the most surveilled schools, compared to the bottom third of school surveillance.
The study suggests that increased surveillance is having a detrimental impact on academic performance.
We're not seeing the impact that if we have high surveillance, we're going to have higher achievement. It's the opposite.
Schools that have heightened security have lower scores in math and a 20% reduction in the number of students attending college after graduation.
Our next study hopefully will involve some qualitative interviews to really see what's going on there, but we know that these types of environments are antithetical to STEM achievement and performance.
And when schools are hardened, he says there are more suspensions, a 40% increase in suspensions. He says about half of the students with multiple suspensions had contact with the justice system as a teenager or adult, including prison time.
For individuals who are pushed out or drop out of high school, much more likely to end up in a prison. Higher surveilled schools tend to, I think, quite reasonably detect more instances perhaps of misbehavior. And so, I think like the motto is like, if you build it, you're going to use it. And so there's an analogy here, which we kind of think about, schools taking these, adding these measures, and now they have it and they end up using it.
Jabbari points out most high surveillance schools are inner city schools with more Black students.
We know that low-income students, and in our study, Black students, were 4 times more likely to attend a high surveillance school.
The study suggests the high level of security is causing more problems for Black students, increasing racial inequities in education. While enforcing higher levels of security may seem like the answer, Jabbari hopes policymakers will consider the study and consider school shootings are rare. He suggests some better ways to end violence in schools, including supporting students' mental health and feelings of belonging to schools.
How do we create environments where students' whole selves are be able to be, recognized, or social emotional needs can be met? For students in high violence neighborhoods, like how do we make sure that they're able to effectively deal with that trauma in schools? And so really thinking about schools as places where they can support students, in their needs and in their social and emotional needs as well. And there's also restorative justice, which I think has really, caused us to rethink how we educate students. And so the idea of restorative justice is that when we do have some infractions, or we do have folks who have kind of broken some of the social norms in schools, how can we reintegrate them in a way that's not punitive but restorative?